Well, I love what we're doing here this week. We have people appearing and disappearing and new people appearing, and they're also interesting. Chester Venhuizen, I call him a missionary farmer, really entrepreneurial, and a great mentor to brothers and sisters in Africa who are learning how to have food security, a kind of a green revolution going on over there, and you're leading the charge in a wonderful way, Chester.
Absolutely.
Turn around, let's see this great shot.
And I love it.
Look at this. All right, there's a man for Africa.
It was a gift. It was a gift from my African brothers and sisters.
Where's home when you're home?
Just outside of Kitchener-Waterloo, Baden,
Farmer,
out on the farm.
All your life. And we said we'd be talking about rice today.
That's correct.
Which, you know, normally it's cornmeal, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah.
When we're in Africa.
This is from Barlogno. This, actually, this rice isn't actually from Barlogno, but this is what they're growing in Barlogno. And it is, of course, a food staple. And watching the people harvest their very first harvest of rice since the massacre, and maybe even from before the massacre, was an amazing and profound thing to witness. The joy that was in the people's lives in Barlogno was just actually uncontrollable. They were praising God, they were rejoicing, they were singing songs about the harvest. It is something you could only imagine in your wildest dreams.
Yeah. You know, many times when I'm in Africa, Chester, I really wonder if I'm still on planet Earth. There's such a contrast. There's so much. It's not even parallel. It's like a different world. And the very fact of the joy in the parts of Africa where we've been, at least, widows, orphans, loving God, thanking God, and they have nothing, at least in our terms. And yet, in their terms, the Lord has provided for them today, and He is their sustainer. I mean, it's really humbling.
That's true. There's a resilience there that, of course, maybe many of us find hard to comprehend. But that resilience also comes from a deep-rooted faith in the fact that God does exist. You know, I've often said to people, there's no such thing as evolutionary thinking or atheistic thinking in Africa. It's either you believe in the spirits or you believe in God, and there's no in-between. And so people do have a deep faith in God, and that's one of the reasons Crossroads Missions is in Africa today. We're there not only to do physical, practical things, to help people build up their lives, but we're there to encourage them and nourish them spiritually, because spiritual nourishment is the most important thing. Jesus Christ and what He offers to people's lives is the most important thing. So we're really encouraged by what's taking place on the ground in Barlogno.
Let's give our viewers again the opportunity to understand how you can get involved, friends. And Dave, walk us through this, will you? Just the opportunities that are there.
I like to call it the Christmas menu.
The Christmas menu, yeah.
Well, the $50 is for Seeds of Love ministry kits. Alice she has 300 volunteers that are going and ministering in IDP camps and in community, helping these girls. So that's what that helps. Thatched huts, we're working on the first 100 huts. You know what? We'd like to do another 100 or 200 huts.
And these are for widows and child-headed
households, that's right. And agriculture assistance, the $500, that's for families for at least a year till they get on their feet. $2,500, we'll be talking later this week about clean drinking water and the effects of helping in communities with clean water. Lots of people know that story. And of course, we need tractors, we need transport trucks. We're working in remote rural areas. We have to get mechanics to the tractor when it breaks down. You have to have a four-wheel drive. So we need some help in those areas.
Absolutely.
Do we have the address page too?
I think we do.
Contacts.
There you go.
Here's how to be in touch with us with your Christmas present for Africa.
Yeah, what a concept.
And as we are clearly seeing through our guests and through these reports, this is great bang for the buck, if I can be that crass. Lives, communities are being restored. Chester, I think, are there 2 growing seasons?
That's right.
In Uganda?
2 growing seasons.
That's great.
And how does the soil survive 2 growing seasons? I mean, does it have to lie fallow at least once every few years?
Well, there's obviously a dry season. People haven't necessarily practiced fallowing the land, but the land is very, very rich,
Yeah.
actually, at this point yet. It hasn't been over-agriculturalized at this point. But that's part of what we're doing as well, is teaching them and training them how to sustain the soil, how to build up the soil.
Chester, Moira said something off the top. She referred to Chester's Challenge. What's that all about?
Well, actually, you know, it's just something that's stirring in my heart, and I really would like to speak to people today out in our viewing audience. I think of the incredible potential of change that we can make today. You know, some of us think that we can't do very much. Some of us have this mentality or this attitude that, well, what is the little that I can give? What difference is that going to make? I recently listened to one of U2's lead singers, Bono, speak about the Africa situation, and he talked about the fact that it's an issue of human rights. And when we get a little deeper than human rights, it's an issue about justice and injustice. And one of the things that really stirs my heart, and that's what I'm feeling this morning, is the injustice that has happened to so many of our African brothers and sisters. But we are the people of God. We're the children of light. We're the salt of the earth. We are the light that Jesus said we should be to the world, and we can make a difference. And I think the thing that I'm really feeling in my heart today, you know, that I would like to encourage each one of us is that no matter what we give, no matter what we contribute, whether it's a prayer, whether it's $1, whether it's $1,000 or $10,000, it doesn't matter. But the contribution we make today will make a difference for the future of northern Uganda. And I think one of the things that we really need to realize is that we need to be people of action. It's not good enough just to wish and dream and hope, but it's good enough to act. And today I'd like to encourage you that if you are feeling that nudge in your heart to act, let me encourage you to act today.
Yeah.